Microsoft Xbox Elite Series 2, the best. If you use the Elite Series 2 controller for more than 10 minutes, you'll understand why we have listed it as our number one gaming controller for PC. Everything about the Series 2 screams luxury. The near-endless customization options give you an unparalleled level of control over your gameplay. Changing things, like D-pads or shift paddles on the fly, is a godsend, and there's a level of freedom to have your thumbstick tension levels set to the exact way you want them. It has a nice weight to it, that feels durable enough to handle even the most intense sessions of Mortal Kombat 11. The biggest changes in the Series 2 over the Series 1 include a neat little carrying case, and a charging station for the controller's new rechargeable battery with 40 hours of juice. Finally, with Project X Cloud and Apple Arcade bringing some great games to your mobile device, you can easily pair the Series 2 controller via Bluetooth. Spending that much for a controller is a tough sell for most people. It costs near 4 times the price of an Xbox One controller, but if you're a serious gamer who values performance and extreme levels of customization, the Series 2 is a no-brainer and worth every penny. Microsoft Xbox Elite, a valid alternative. The Elite nomenclature is typically marketing nonsense, but in this one instance, I think it applies. For those who like their PCs state-of-the-art, clean, and beautiful, for those with Swedish headphones made of volcanic glass, for those who make their PB&J from scratch, the Xbox Elite controller is for you. Everything about the Xbox Elite controller feels precise and considered. The addition of some slick software that allows for tweaking of trigger values, stick sensitivities, button assignments, and profile designations, makes it even more attractive for PC experimentation. It isn't perfect though. I like a bit of weight in my controllers and mice, but the Elite is a bit heavier than the average gamepad, and might not feel good on tiny wrists after a long play session. Plus, the face buttons have the same mushy feeling as the standard Xbox One controller. Despite those flaws, it's still an incredible and expensive piece of kit. And even though its familiar design doesn't step far from what's tried and true, the configurable sleek design makes it an easy recommendation. Astro Gaming C40 TR, another valid alternative. Positioned as a premium alternative to the DualShock 4, you could say that the Astro C40 is to the PS4, what the Xbox Elite wireless controller is to the Xbox One. It may be made by a third party, but the Astro delivers a premium controller experience, in that familiar DualShock form factor. What makes the C40 unique is the ability to not only swap parts, but move them around. The modular design will let you swap out the left thumbstick for the D-pad, and rock an asymmetrical Xbox One S controller. Or you can be a complete anarchist and put 2 thumbsticks on the left, with the D-pad on the right. The face buttons can't be swapped to a different position though. For PC players, the Astro has its own Windows software. In it, you can remap buttons, create and edit profiles, and adjust stick and trigger sensitivity among other things. Of those other things, the fact that it has an audio equalizer for the headphone jack on bottom, is perhaps the weirdest and most impressive aspect of the whole controller. Like the Elite and its contemporaries, it costs a lot, but after using it ourselves, we don't want to go back. Sony DualSense Wireless Controller, the most impressive gamepad around. Sony's DualShock 4 controller was great, and with Bluetooth connectivity, you didn't have to do a bunch of extra work to get it connected to a PC wirelessly, like you did with the original Xbox One controller. Now, the Sony DualSense controller delivers an upgrade. The new controller drastically changes the aesthetics of the original, but still has a similar control scheme for those who prefer the symmetrical layout for the analog sticks. The Sony DualSense offers an unbelievable immersion, thanks to its new haptic motors and adaptive triggers, which can offer resistance under your finger. Firing a bow can actually feel like firing a bow, and the rumble is also easily the best and most nuanced we've ever felt in a controller. It really is as good as people say. The bad news? The DualSense's most advanced features don't work in PC games yet, since games will need to be programmed to take advantage of them. But Steam already offers full support for the controller, so it's at least a breeze to plug in and use like any other pad. It's a hair less comfortable than the Xbox controller, and not as simple to use in non-Steam games, but if you prefer Sony's analog stick layout, or love gyro aiming, this is the one to get. And maybe someday we'll see PC games take advantage of those new triggers and haptics too. Microsoft Xbox Wireless Controller, the most reliable gamepad. The original Xbox One wireless controller was a staple for PC gaming. With the Xbox Series S and X release, we all were curious to see how Xbox improved on an already killer gamepad. This controller retains a lot of what we loved about the original. Its overall comfortable design with texturized rubber grips makes it feel extremely great in your hands. Much like the original, it boasts a vastly superior D-pad that takes cues from the Xbox Elite Series controllers that you won't dread using in fighting games and platformers. You might have noticed a new button in the center of the controller. The much requested share button now lets you capture screenshots and gameplay footage without diving too much into the menus. The Xbox wireless controller also leverages Microsoft's wireless protocol, called Xbox Wireless. Though the name could benefit from some creative workshopping, you can take solace in the fact that the Xbox wireless controller graces us with a much-needed helping of Bluetooth compatibility. The biggest downside is that you need a pair of AA batteries or a rechargeable battery pack if you want to play wirelessly, when most other controllers include a built-in rechargeable battery at this point.
Razer Wolverine V2, best third-party PC controller. If you want serious performance for your PC gaming, the Razer Wolverine V2 is the controller you'll want to pick up. It has a premium design, with rubber side grips that will keep your hands firmly in place even in the fiercest combat. The controller is larger than the new Xbox Core controller, giving it a special place for larger-handed gamers as well. And, with a wired connection, it will ensure minimal input lag. The Wolverine V2 offers highly capable buttons, as it uses Razer's Mecha Tactile buttons, which actuate quickly and have a clicky feel, none of the mushiness of typical controllers. You can remap the controls to your liking, and there are extra shoulder buttons to give you even more control. Razer also includes trigger locks for any games that require rapid trigger presses. While the Wolverine V2 costs more than a standard first-party controller, it is still a significant upgrade that is well worth considering if you play a lot of gamepad-friendly PC games.
Razer Wolverine Ultimate, the best wired controller. Razer's Wolverine Ultimate could very well be the best gamepad available today, save for one critical disqualifying factor: it can't connect to a PC or console over wireless. The Xbox-style gamepad offers many of the same luxury features as the Xbox One Elite controller, like a swappable D-pad and customizable back paddles. In addition, the face buttons click like a mouse. This seemingly minuscule detail actually makes a world of difference. It's like using nothing but membrane keyboards your whole life, and then making the move to mechanical switches. So while the enclosed 10-foot braided micro USB cable takes some getting used to, tactile button presses are a worthy trade-off.
Turtle Beach Recon Controller, the best affordable PC controller for amazing audio. The Turtle Beach Recon controller would bear a striking resemblance to the Xbox controller if it weren't for the control panel of features that's been added at the top of the gamepad. Its layout is similar otherwise, but it comes with some extra feature functionality all its own. Not only can you control volume and chat mix right on the controller, but you can take advantage of mic and audio enhancements to take your gaming to the next level. You can also adjust your right stick sensitivity, and remap two buttons that have been added on the underside of the controller for some more versatility in your gameplay. And, it costs about the same as a standard issue Xbox controller. It's only the lack of any kind of wireless connectivity with the Turtle Beach Recon that keeps it from being the perfect controller. But, if you're okay being wired to your Xbox or PC, you should give this gamepad a go. PowerA Enhanced Wired Controller, a cheaper wired choice. For a controller that doesn't stray too far from the shape and feel of Microsoft's own Xbox controller, the PowerA Enhanced is a strong option that ditches wireless connectivity in order to hit a low price point. The controller itself provides a decent bit of heft, aided along by two vibration motors, and it's got all the buttons you need for your games. It even takes a page out of the Xbox Elite controller's book. On the underside, you'll find two small buttons that can serve as shortcuts to face buttons. If you're not interested in wireless connectivity, then this is a decent choice. SCUF Instinct Pro, the best built PC games controller. SCUF doesn't mess around with its controllers, offering some of the best premium pads outside of Sony and Microsoft. There are more customization options on offer with the Instinct Pro than with pretty much any other pad you could name. There are programmable back paddles, a choice of domed or concave thumbsticks at 3 different heights, and lockable triggers. SCUF has at least acknowledged there's little point trying to one-up Microsoft when it comes to the overall design of the Instinct Pro, because it looks physically identical to a standard Xbox Series controller. The Instinct series also use the same circuit board as Microsoft's controllers and pair in the same way, So on PC you can use them via Xbox Wireless with an Xbox Wireless adapter dongle. This means that they benefit from Microsoft's latency improvements and can even be upgraded with new firmware as it's released. Performance is excellent, with the pad feeling every bit as comfortable to hold as its Xbox rival. But what really set it apart was its build quality. If you want an esports controller that can take a lot of punishment and still deliver excellent performance, then the SCUF Instinct Pro is the best PC game controller option we've tested so far.
Microsoft Xbox One controller, the gold standard. After a precarious relationship with the long-championed Xbox 360 gamepad, it is finally time to let go. In addition to being cheaper than ever before, it boasts a vastly superior D-pad that you won't dread using in fighting games and platformers. This controller leverages Microsoft's own wireless protocol, called Xbox Wireless. Though the name itself could benefit from some creative workshopping, you can take solace in the fact that, after 2016, the controller was graced with a much-needed helping of Bluetooth compatibility. And now it's practically standard fare for console transplants, deterred by the learning curve mouse and keyboard gaming presence. Sony DualShock 4, a valid alternative. The DualShock 4's layout and grip are more comfortable than ever, with triggers and sticks that are particularly well designed compared with their PS3 counterparts. There's also a front-facing touchpad, which brings some interesting possibilities to the familiar design. The DualShock 4 works well with titles such as Shovel Knight and Final Fantasy XIV, and more modern games are including native support for Sony's controller. In fact, the DualShock 4 is now fully supported in Steam, meaning you can tweak the touchpad and light bar, and enjoy the robust remapping and sensitivity options found on Valve's Steam controller. You can even tap into the DualShock 4's gyroscope, allowing you to say, aim your gun in a shooter by using motion controls. SteelSeries Stratus Duo, the most versatile. For those who like to switch between systems, the SteelSeries Stratus Duo is designed to pair with Windows, Android, and VR. This multi-platform controller has Hall-effect magnetic triggers, precision joysticks, smooth actuation, and over 20 hours of battery life on each charge, plus, you can even play while charging. Last but not least, it works with over 5,000 controller-enabled games on Steam, and it doesn't require any drivers or software to do so. However, it's important to note that it does not vibrate.